Barak to Yahawah, Barak to Yahawashi. All praise, glory, and honor to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles, a great millstone, and honors and salutations to you Akim out there that's laboring in its truth and sincerity. And it's another lesson, which this lesson, is basically is based on a lot of videos lately. The Spirit been bringing up old videos. I was watching one of the old videos of Abba Bivens. The Apostle Ramlov sent me an upload. The Spirit been having Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, different brothers going in. Of course, you got Vocab and the other dude Abu. They done open up a righteous can of worms, if you will, because pretty much what they were doing, they trying to bring up an old book that none of us knew about that Abba Bivens had wrote in the 50s. But it's all good because it just further proves and cement, and it shows it shows that we're still carrying the same torch from back then. You understand? So that's why like a lot of groups or whatever talk about because you got most of the camps you see come from One West, but One West was spearheaded by Abba Bivens. The Most High Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi raised up Abba Bivens, as brothers already know, right? To push this thing forth. Which that's why we know in the Spirit, because 1 Corinthians 14 and 32, the spirit of the prophet is subject unto the prophet. So we see pretty much Abba Bivens doing the thing that John the Baptist did. You know what I'm saying? That a lot. So he's in that same spirit. So the Lord used Abba Bivens pretty much as the first, like in this time that we in now. All right, and then from there, cunt. And hey, Shalom and honors and salutations to all you Akim out there, the Aquas that's out there too. All right, but so now getting back into it, so pretty much the Spirit had Abba Bivens set up King Masha, right, which is King David, and we always had the scriptures to prove it. Not that that's, not that we sit there and some people think that we man worship or go. No, we ain't going into genealogies, but King David is a prominent man. That's a man that's the Most High's heart. Somebody got to be King David. The scriptures speak about in Ezekiel, Lord willing, if we get a chance to go there. I think even in the 37th chapter in Jeremiah, a few places the scriptures tell you about King David is going to be here in the last days. All right, Deuteronomy said even our king should go into slave. So somebody got to be the man. There's certain men that the Lord reveals who they are. Like the heads, because you know what I'm saying, of who he is. Somebody has to be King David. And we know High Priest Ariah, we understand about that. See, there's a lot of history going into all of that, but it's beautiful. That's why the show is titled Remember the Great Men of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Because these men that I'm speaking about, these are great men in this lifetime that we grew up in, which they're the same great men from back then. Again, 1 Corinthians 14 and 32. All right, King Masha, High Priest Ariah, High Priest Elder Yahawah, all right, and then on down to the apostles, the holy apostles that we have, Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rakah, Apostle Ramlab, and then it goes, the rest of the body with one body. But speaking on men like Abba Bivens, and these are great men, and you gotta remember them, okay? And matter of fact, I'm gonna start off with 2 Timothy's chapter 3, all right? 2 Timothy's chapter 3 and 14. It says, but continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and has been assured of. You see, so the things that we learned coming into this truth, knowing that we Israelites from whatever perspective tribe that you come from, what the Lord put the Spirit on these men, starting with Abba Bivens, and then the Most High gave, and that's how it goes. The closer we get to Yahawashi coming, there's more revelations that comes out. Like Abba Bivens didn't know the amount of things that High Priest Ariah knew, was like but he knew about the tribes were here, and but he was primarily focusing on Judah, which is by right, because it tells you in the prophecy, it was that Zechariah, the Lord should raise the tents of Judah first. So there was a reason that it happened in that manner. That had to happen that way. You know what I'm saying? It had to happen that way, and that's how the Most High set things up. This is go around, so to speak. So we see these things happening, and we understand clearly that this is the prophets, man. And again, I'm gonna keep saying it, and pretty much I'm echoing what the apostles were saying, what they've been showing in the videos and everything, because you got a lot of these disgruntled, rebellious ass kids, niggas that clearly don't know what the hell they're involved in, which they set up to play the role that they playing. they don't understand the importance of the men of the Lord, because everybody thinks that you can't just pick up the Bible and say that you're a man of the Lord, that you're a prophet. You know, even if you understand, like, even if you got a good mind to remember every actual thing, the Spirit of the Lord got to be with you. All right, and then it goes deeper. I'm gonna bring it back to the basics. I got a few scriptures I want to go to, but we're gonna go to the basics, right, of coming in when you come into this truth, right? So now it says, this is Romans 10, and I'm gonna start at I'm gonna jump to the point 13. It said, for whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, and that's the name. That's important within itself. It says, shall be saved, right? So if you call upon that name, because you call upon that other name, you know, Jesus or Jesus, you gonna be left in hell, man. Right? In America, meaning when those missiles detonate, you're gonna be stuck here, man. You ain't gonna be delivered or nothing like that, man. You see what I'm saying? So it's important, the name of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. It says, how then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? Right? Because why? Before you was awoke to this truth, you didn't believe in Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. You believing in all the other different gods of this world, man. The false gods, the Christian God, Caesar Borgia. Some of you brothers was into Islam, the Kemetic gods and everything. You got brothers coming in from all walks of life. So it says, how then shall they call upon him whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? Because this is truth, and I'm pretty sure it's the same for all of us hearing about Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi in this life. We never heard of that before. So that's when the Lord said he's going to make his name new, meaning refresh. Because why? The Lord refreshed this truth in his word and his name. Because when I was a child, I never heard of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, you know? Only thing I was hearing them names that, you know, God, Jesus, you know, and now we understand why is that. But see, the Lord put that spirit on his men. Okay, the Lord put the spirit on his men to bring or make that name refreshed. Okay, to make it new again. To the point where okay, judgment up there. To the point where now we got the name, you see? But it said, how should they believe in him in whom they have not heard? It said, and how should they hear without a preacher? So Abba Bivens was one of the head preachers in this day and age that the Lord started this thing back up again, because this is a legacy. We're like Yahawashi said, I sent you on other men's labor wherein you bestow no work. Like, in other words, we're just continuing, we're picking up the baton, if you will. You know what I'm saying? We're carrying the torch, all right? So Abba Bivens was the first when the Lord ignited that torch back again. Then boom, it got passed on to who? High Priest King Masha, High Priest Ariah, High Priest Elder Yahawah, right? And to the point where now it got passed, the torch got passed down to the apostles. And that's just how it goes, man. All right, that's just how the Lord, and then to the rest of you brothers that's bearing the true light, which is this truth of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. All right, and the thing is, with that book that Abba Bivens that they're going into, and a lot of brothers are doing all kind of shows on it. You know, see the thing, and the apostle said this before, like the Lord got the spirit on us. We're just like a bunch of juggernauts, righteous juggernauts, man. You try to come at us with something, we gonna just get stronger and keep coming at you even harder. The spirit been having brothers put out all kind of videos. Like this stuff just motivates brothers, man. All right, from the apostles on down, we all locked into this thing, and you can't, like the scriptures say, truly in 2 Corinthians, I believe, 13 and 8, for we can do nothing against the truth, but for it, there's nothing that you as much as you try to slander and throw all kind of, you know, smut all over, you can't. The truth stands alone, man. All right, and the truth has been proven, and that's what that did is prove that what? Because you'll have ISUPK, they'll talk about they're the home of the truth and this, that, and the third. Then you have this dude Gok, okay, you know, the apostles call him Bubble Eyes. You have all these guys saying they got the truth, but when you go back to records like this, who's really still continuing on that teaching, that preaching? Right? The Lord said, I'm gonna give you pastors according to my heart. And that's what Abba Bivens was. Okay, and that's why the Spirit had him raise up King Masha, High Priest Ariah, High Priest Elder Yahawah. And now you see the apostles continuing in that same vein, and his truth has flourished. That mustard seed, it was a small, you know, but now look at the growth of this truth. This truth is all over the earth, man. So that's why we got to make sure we remember these men, and not just remember them, but remember the sayings and keep their sayings. Okay? So the Lord said, and how shall they preach? Going back, you need a preacher. You need somebody to teach you. All right? That's the first thing. We all had to be taught. That's why the Lord raised up the apostles and everything to teach us the right way, because you got a lot of people out there that are teaching, but they're not qualified, man. They don't have the spirit. The Lord ain't dealing with them. That's why you got guys still talking about Cornelius is an Edomite. You know, that the nations could be saved. The Yahawashi didn't exist, so he's not important. You know, and all this other crap that they teaching out there. Because the Lord ain't dealing with them, man. And the Lord, and again, I'm going to quote it. I always quote it in Ezra's. It says, in this time, then shall it be made known who his servants are. So this is spiritual, that all this information is coming up. And it's going to be more and more. And this is beautiful, man. Truth is going to flourish, like the scriptures say. So it said, and how should they preach except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace. The peace is what? Between the Most High, Yahawah, Bahasham, and the name Yahawashi, through Yahawashi, the Son, in Israel. That's why Yahawashi is known as a mediator. All right. And then he's also too known as what? Shiloh. Okay, which means peaceable. All right. Because those are the titles, and that's what Yahawashi did. He brought the peace between us and the Most High, because the Most High, we were enemies with the Most High. Okay. It says, and bring glad tidings of good things. What's the good things? That we about to inherit the kingdom of heaven, man. That this fucking place is about to be destroyed. I don't call it what you want to call it. We're in the last days, man. All right, and these are the prophecies, man. Okay, that's the things that you see happening all the way down. You had a fighter jet crashed on the what you call it, base in the water, whatever you call it. Those are all prophecies and signs that, look, America's time is up, man. Okay, and look what they're doing with the MOTB. You can't even deny it before, because they weren't putting it out like that. So a lot of people were sitting there coming up against us, bucking up against us, saying, like, you know, we making up shit and all kind of other crazy shit that they were saying. But now it's to a point where you can't even deny what's actually happening, man. You know, and Barakatah Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi for that, man. You know, the time we on our way home, man. We ain't gonna be in America, like, you know. This ain't the place that the forefathers. This ain't the rest that our forefathers were seeking. You know what I'm saying? This ain't that, man. All right. So anyway, back in the scripture, it says, well, now let me go back to Timothy's. It says, but continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. So that's why it's key. You got to know who your elders are. You got to know, because see, a lot of times you got guys that fly by night cats or novices that, you know, creep in unawares or whatever, right? They come in and they might be sitting there, and even some of them double honors to the apostles, but they don't understand. You see what I'm saying? They don't understand how deep levels in this truth and how far things go back, all right, to these great men that the Most High set up. He set up men to be pillars in this truth. All right, Yahawashi is the foundation, but he got the men, and those men are going to come back. And which goes back to the tabernacles of David. Did not the Lord said he's going to raise up the tabernacles of David which have fallen? So we're in that time where the Lord is actually doing that. And that's why you see, you know, the holy apostles out there, you know, teaching, the elders, the bishops, you other brothers that's coming into the fold. You see, you're all part of, the only way you're going to come into this truth is you have to be a part of the tabernacles of David. Not just anybody's going to come into this knowledge, man. All right? Not this truth ain't for everybody. You know, it's going to be people that's going to come in, but they're not going to stay if they're not of the house of David, which is the elect. Basically going into the elect. All right? But it said, knowing of whom thou hast learned them, in that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which, and when you come in, you got to come in as a child, as a babe. And that's what happens. A lot of guys try to skip steps. You can't skip no steps. Yahawashi said, he that enter in another way, the same as a thief and a robber. You know, you got to enter in through the door, through Yahawashi, all right? Which entails going through the straight gate, the position of difficulty, man. Catching hell. We're called to suffer for righteousness, though, for the sake of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. And guess what? The men that came before us, and before the apostles, that's exactly what they did to the end, okay? To the end. Abba Bivens, man, he died teaching the truth, man. All right, he put it, and he ain't give a damn. You see the spirit he got, man. That man is, you could just look at him and see the might and the power of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi in the man. You know that he's different, man. This one look, when I see all the old pictures come up of him, yeah, he was different, man. You know, same thing like King Masha, you know, High Priest Ariah, High Priest Elder Yahawah, you know, hell, High Priest Shah, you know what I'm saying? Which I'm not sure, you know, the Lord knows, you know what I'm saying? But these are men that, this is what they did, all right? This is what they did. The apostles, you see, this is what they still doing. These are great men that are different. They got a whole nother spirit, man. You know, beautiful scripture, Isaiah 62:6. Yep. The watchmen, that's what they are, man. The Most High put that spirit on them. So you got to go back and then go back. You can match what the brothers are doing, the apostles and the men that I mentioned. You can match what they're doing to the works of the ancient men, the 12 disciples. You know what I'm saying? Going back in 8, all of that. They doing this in the same spirit, man. So it's not a coincidence what's happening, man. And it's a beautiful thing. So now I'm gonna get let me go to another scripture real quick in Jeremiah, the 5th chapter, you know. And really, even though all the shit we go through, we really in a privileged position, man, because, man, that's why I said it, the hell we going through can't compare to the blessings we gonna receive, because we're gonna receive, that shit like is mind blowing, because sometimes you be like, nah, you know, like you look at, if you really look into yourself, you know that we're really wicked. Like Isaiah said, our righteousness is as all of our righteousness is as a filthy minstrel's rag, right? But Yahawashi said, look, it is of the Father's good pleasure to give you his kingdom, man. So for us, if Lord willing that we continue, though, that's the catch. As we know, Matthew 24, he that endureth unto the end, the same should be saved. But at the same token, coming into this thing now, you know, we're going to get the same penny, which there's an order, of course, but like, these are great men. When you look at the works that they done, man, but if we continue in there, there's a reward for us as well. You see? Yes, brother. Those elders are the definitions of bold as a lion. So that's the spirit that we gotta carry ourselves in, man. You know? Oh man. Yeah, that's another one. 2nd Ezra 140. You know? Okay, so now this Jeremiah 5, I started the first verse. It says, run ye to and fro through the streets of Jerusalem, and see now, and know, and seek in the broad places thereof. Which that's why we out there in the highways and the byways, man, and the broadways. That's why we're supposed to go out there and speak until the Lord, you know, till the time is up. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we out there, in which the main highway now, the Lord got it to where the internet, you know, which they call it, what, the highway of information, if I'm saying it right. So this is the highway, one of the main highways. So when we go out on the streets, we film and put it out on the internet. So that way that the Lord, which is prophecy, as we know, Psalms, the 19th chapter, the Lord can make this word go where he wanted to go throughout the whole world, basically, right? So it says, in seeking the broad places thereof, if you can find a man, if there be any that executeth judgment, that seeketh the truth, and I will pardon it. And see, that's the problem. Our people will not, and that's why the Lord said in Hosea, the 4th chapter, he got a controversy with our people, because they're not speaking the truth. They don't seek the truth. All right, they don't execute judgment. Here it is, all these guys that got all these titles and stuff, but you got guys that just love titles, man. You know, I'm the super chief, exalted grand poobah of this. Like, come on, man. But you're not even holding none of the weight. You're not executing righteousness, man. You're not rightly dividing the word, you know. So that's why the Lord's gonna get rid of all of those, you know, the phonies out there, man. All right, the Yahawashi said, he said they're gonna be uprooted, man. Okay, but they need to be there because they got their place. But it says, and though they say the Lord liveth, surely they swear falsely. See, because you got a lot of these guys out there that sit there. Some of them even say, "Hey, Kwame Yashala Bracket," you know what I'm saying? They're mentioning the Most High's holy name, but they swear falsely. Because why? They're not following what Yahawashi said to do. They're doing the total opposite. They're going against the commandments, man. They're going against the Most High's judgment. They're going against his prophets and the prophecies, man. And furthermore, they're going against Yahawashi. All right, and they don't turn back. And I'm talking about guys that know that they're Israelites, man. All right, I mean you could name them. All right, it says, "O Lord, Yahawashi, are not thine eyes upon the truth?" And that's why we got to keep it real. Like, King David said in Psalms 51, man. You know what I'm saying? Because why? You ain't doing nothing that the Most High don't know that you're doing, man. But you got a lot of these guys that be scheming and they little areas where they meet and do all this other, just like Esau. Because you got niggas, and the scriptures tell you that these niggas are worse than the fucking devil, man. All right? These niggas are fucking worse than the devil, man. You know? And man, and see, the thing is, and I see why, cause I didn't, certain things, we don't know everything, because we don't really study these other groups like that or whatever, because we're looking towards, you know, we pressing towards the mark, man, which is preaching this word. But then, you know, the Spirit does reveal things, and you find out, and I see why the Apostle Paul was fucking pissed off. Dudes are sitting there saying you can trying to justify having sex on the Sabbath, man, to show you how far gone and how wicked niggas have become, man. The high holy day of the Lord, which the main number one, you don't want to be doing nothing. But you damn sure don't want to be fucking having sex on the Sabbath, man. All right? How is that? That's not resting. That's work. That's like, you know, and that's definitely pleasure. You see, but you know, that's the time that we in, man. You see, and the side is beautiful too. On the same token, you know, you get angry because it make them stick out. Like, shows that, all right, then, you know, shit, we know that those ain't the men of the Lord, man. They get off, man. You know? But it says, oh Lord, are not thine eyes upon the truth? Thou hast stricken them, but they have not grieved. Okay, and the Lord been rebuking them through the apostles, the elders, the brothers, GMS. The Most High set us up to rebuke these other camps, these wicked Israelites, but they ain't grieved. They just brush it off and didn't get mad at us and shit, you know? Got the bishop's name in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? They just go crazy on us, man. Or slander us, talk shit, lie on us. Oh, those are the pedophiles, murder, all this other bullshit they say on us. Instead of just repenting, instead of like, oh shit, y'all, you know? It says, thou hast consumed them, but they have refused to receive correction. You see? That sound familiar? That sound like a rebellious, sick child that refuses to receive correction. It says they have made their faces harder than a rock. You see? They sit there and go all the way out, man. They go all the way out and being wicked, proud. You know, first of all, and that's the thing, which Pastor Gabar did a video about 2 weeks ago. One thing that never gets old is what? Manners, man. He was going to manners and decor. All right, of how which goes into respect. All right. Yeah, that's the prophecy. That's definitely happening, man. Okay? But a lot of these guys, they don't have no character, man. The scriptures tell you that the spirit of the ruler rise up against you, leave not from that place. So even say if they didn't agree with the apostles and elders, what we've been saying, it's not for them to sit there and go, oh, Todd, you never could get your house in order and rhyme up, you motherfucker, I hate you, the Lord gonna do. That ain't for them, y'all to do all of that. Even if about decor, you don't understand about this Ecclesiastes 32:17. That's right, a sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will. And that's what we're seeing. Instead of them, you know, receiving correction, they just make excuses up and try to just keep justifying themselves, man. But again, the Most High have that happen, so what? He exposes them, right? But it says, but they have refused to receive correction. They have made their faces harder than a rock. They have refused to return, meaning to repent from the wicked works that they do. It says, therefore I said, surely these are poor. See? They are foolish, right? That's what the Lord said. And they get mad at us. The scriptures say that because why? They don't remember how the Most High dealt with other men, Dathan and Corey, and men that came up against his men. See, the Most High sets up his men, and it's just that. It's just what it is. All right, the Lord set up whoever the hell he want to set up. Whoever he want to have mercy on, he's going to have mercy on. So just like Moses was his man that he used to deliver us, to lead us out of Egypt, and with Aaron, and you know, you had these niggas that had a problem with that, man. And then they ended up getting other stupid lost souls to follow them. And then what ended up happening, man, the Lord opened up the earth and swallowed them niggas up whole, man. Imagine that, man. You seeing, a bunch of niggas, wicked niggas, these top niggas. You see them one day, then the next, there's not even no remains of these motherfuckers, man. That's the power of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, and that's what's coming down, man. All right? Like the rap, the news, man. That name, and their name that they got, it's not going to live on. See, we still speak about great men, and that shows you that Abba Bivens, because even to this name, I guess, so I lost a connection. But anyway, reading back on, going back to Jeremiah, the 5th chapter, Jeremiah 5:5, says, I will get me unto the great men, and will speak unto them, for they have known the way of the Lord, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. So that's what the prophet Jeremiah said. He said you're gonna get to the great men, and really, you want to be around true men of the Lord, man. And it's an honor. I'll say for myself, and I'm sure the rest of the Connecticut, it's been an honor, and it's still an honor to serve, under the holy apostles, Apostle Tahar, to have met the man and learned from him. Apostle Gabar, met that great man and learned from him. Apostle Rakah, to meet that great man and learn from him. To meet Apostle Ramlab, it's been an honor, and still an honor, because I still learn from him. Just like it's been an honor to been able to actually meet King Masha, High Priest Ariyah, High Priest Elder Yahawah, all right, High Priest Shaw, all right, to meet those men and actually be bidden to sup next to them through the strength of Apostle Tahar. All right, the Spirit had Apostle Tahar. I tell the story a few times, man. One of the last Passovers that we had before One West split, right? I'm not sure. I might mix it up with the one where the Wu-Tang was there and everybody. But the Spirit, we got there. We was just happy. We figured we was gonna stand like towards the door or whatever, and then Pastor Charles, he's like waving us up to the front. Like, come on. I said, no, you brothers gonna sit here. We was like, oh shit, because which we didn't care, because all the schools would meet, and Connecticut was all looked down upon. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't give a fuck about none of that shit, because we were just happy to be, like Apostle Ram said, I'm just happy to be here. That was the mentality that we have, because we knew in the spirit that those were great men. All right, when I met who taught me Gabaria, which, hey, back then that was my man. The Lord used him to teach a lot of us. I told him straight up that I felt like Moses was here. Like the first week he was teaching me, I said, look, don't think I'm crazy, man. And it was just something in my spirit that said, you know what I'm saying? So, and then he's like, bruh, bruh, you don't know how right you are. I didn't know about reincarnation. But in my spirit, and then when I met these men, I was like, yeah, these are the men. These are the men. So even if, because the scriptures say great men are not always wise or whatever, even if you have, like, for example, High Priest Ariyah, he went with the comfy or whatever, which he was going off, but that don't mean that he's still not a great man, that he's not the man who we said he is. Moses went off. King David went off. He numbered his, So a lot of times people get that twisted. And then furthermore, the Lord revealed to us that was going to happen before it happened. And even King Masha knew that, man. So that this thing is deep, man. But, the Spirit had Apostle Tahar had us being caught up there, and we were just happy to be there. And I remember even, and I'm gonna keep it real, Bakwash, which Baloo, we could call him Baloo. That's back when that he was he wasn't like how he is now, because one thing he was saying, because they was giving a lot of awards. I think Wu-Tang, I think Meldrick Taylor that might have been that one. I'm not sure. But they was like, they was saluting. But he was like, what did he do? What did he do? Why they clap for him? What did he do? And I was like, yeah, this brother's right. You know what I'm saying? But it's a blessing. And the thing is that thing, those are precious memories, man. And we still continue to have precious memories, man. Like when, in this stage of the truth, where the internet era and the Most High set up the YouTube thing, the Lord used the apostles to blow that thing open, man. But at the same time, you brothers learned so much, it came up on levels way quicker than we came up. You know what I'm saying? Things that it might have took us 10 years to get, a lot of you brothers learned in a year or two, But that's because why? The time that we in, And then it's been an honor to meet you brothers as well, because, at the end of the day, you see who the true men are. But that's what Jeremiah said, look, these are the men I'm going to look to be around. A man like Abba Bivens, man, come on, man. And that's why you got a lot of people that like to throw dirt on these holy men's name. They got to deal with Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, because you know, at the end of the day, the Most High set these men up. Even King David, when you had Shimei was cursing him, right? And I forgot if it was one of the mighty men was ready to put him to death back then, because in the ancient world, you know, things were different, man. During the time of King David, you could, like, you see how you got a lot of these people trolling and saying shit, and a lot of times people say stuff online because you can't get with them or nothing like that. They say shit that they wouldn't even say in your face. You got like a bunch of nerds scoffing at the motherfuckers weigh about 55 pounds, talking all kind of crazy King Kong type of shit, right? But in the ancient world, that shit that ain't fly. So Shimei, right? Because he was all tight. He's mad that the Lord rejected Saul. When you go back into the history, because see, it's a thing. The scriptures speak about having a good name, being like the precious ointment. All right, your name was everything. That's why, you know, you would get mad if your son went off or brought disgrace to your name. See, because men understood that back then. Why you think we still quote from the prophets? We still speak about Jeremiah, and that's even a popular name. Just, you know what I'm saying? We speak about these men because, you know, your ancient world was heavy, brother. That's right. These were great men that trusted in Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, and therefore their name lives forever in this holy book that's called the Bible. You understand? Men, we're talking about Abraham, which we know that they came back on this earth, but I'm just saying there was a thing about a name. So Saul, his name became, because he was once the anointed, but he, you know, he went off, he did his wickedness and going to the witch of Endor, just like you had men today, updated to like, it's like the weather's a little jacked up, but like I said, Yahawah was the first one. When I seen him, he shit, you know. But then eventually he went to the dark side. Same thing like King Saul, but so that Saul he got rejected, which is all because King David was the guy anyway. Because King Solomon, which is Yahawashi and the reincarnation, I'm just saying stuff straight out. He was meant to come through that line. You know, it was going to go to Judah. Saul was a Benjamite. So anyway, when you go into the history, Shimei, which was of the house of Saul, I'm not sure if that was one of his sons, but he was of the house of Saul. He was cursing King David. And again, they said, look, who is this dog that curses my king? He prayed to King David, let me go over there and take this nigga head off, man. But King David, spiritual man, and he was humble about it. He said, nah, let him talk. He said, maybe the Lord sent him to buffet me for something that, you know, showing you the humility that King David had, as powerful as he was and all the shit he'd been through. And most niggas would have been like, yeah, that's right. His father tried to kill him, you know. King David's like, nah, let him rock. He would, you know. But then eventually he did get got. King David's deathbed put that hit out on him, man. See what I'm saying? But the point is that, you know, Saul's name got tarnished because of what he did. Okay, but now King David, because he trusted in Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, all right, his name lives on today, all the way into the updating it to King Mashah. All right, and that's why I said if anybody got anything, his 144 on the lights are right in front of me. You know, that's heavy. If anybody got anything negative and evil to say about these men, Albert Bivens, King Mashah, High Priest Arya, High Priest, they don't understand about the truth. And really, you come an enemy with the Most High. I'm not saying worshiping these men, but these are special, great men. The scriptures speak on it. This is what we read in Jeremiah. So it said, I will get me unto the great men and will speak unto them, for they have known the way of the Lord and the judgment of their power. But these have altogether broken the yoke and burst the bonds. All right? So that's why it's important. Now I want to go to the Apocrypha, Lord willing. You know, I don't know how much I read, but I'm going to start the first verse. It's Ecclesiastes 44:1. And I seen a brother had put it up in the comment board. Like I said, bear with the signal because the weather is crazy and whatever. Prince of the power. But hopefully this is going through. But now this is Ecclesiastes chapter 44, verse 1. It said, let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begat us. You see? And the thing is, you know, I like that line, that hip hop line, whatever. Snoop Dogg said, when you diss Dre, you diss yourself. But when you, because why? What that meant, he was saying, look, you can't talk about Dre. Dre put you niggas on. Dr. Dre, as far as that hip hop shit go. So now going into the truth and dealing with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and the spiritualness of this thing. If you start dissing your elders, that's why it's what. Like, look, and I pray to the Lord that spirit never come on me to ever speak rebel against. I say, Lord willing, I pray, because that's off, man. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I wouldn't know what I know if it wasn't for men like Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rakab, Apostle Ramla, and hell, even the bishops too. All right? Even the bishops. I learned things from all the bishops, man. Todd, Sakaran, Ba Zion, Bishop not Ayathan, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of you other brothers. But the thing is that when you sit there, and Apostle Rakab touched on it, he quoted the scripture, boast not against the branches, right? Being that you were grafted in, which that goes into the Israelite foreigners, all right, dealing with the, of course, the demo of the circumcision. But Apostle Rakab broke it down, which is true. How the hell are you going to sit there and men that was before you was even born, when your parents were fucking kids, or not before your parents were born, man? All right, some of these guys' parents were born like in the 60s or 70s. You saw men that was out there laboring, teaching, and in them times it wasn't different because, hey, things were different back then. You understand? They're very disrespectful, disobedient to parents, unholy, truce breakers. So that's why you can't diss the men of the Lord that were before you, man. All right? You can't. If you do it, then that just says a lot about your character, man. It says a lot. And like I said, look, we're reading, look what got unearthed, which, I got some of the files, I think the Pasha Rambam or another brother sent me. But this book was supposedly written in the 1950s by Abba Bivens. It's 2022, and we were speaking on it, and it's relevant to what we're teaching about who our people are, that we're the real Israelites, who the real Jews are. You understand? So you can't tell me that that's not a man of the Lord, and knowing that he put his life out there through the spirit and power of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, to kickstart this thing that we all a part of now, that became our life. This truth is our life, man. All right? Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, this work is our life. Everything is centered around this truth. Anything that brothers do. So you're going to diss a man that started that off? Come on, man. See, that's the problem. But, hey, like brother said, yeah, they disrespectful, but look, nobody gets away, man. Nobody. We don't get away with shit that we do. We paying for our sins as well, okay? But it's just that the scriptures say, blessed is the man whom the Lord imputeth not iniquity. Meaning, we're praying and hoping that we're of that elect, because the elect, the Most High is not going to hold their charges against them, the charges of their sins. You see, our tab is picked up by Yahawashi, all right, and that's why we gotta, give ourselves a sacrifice and try to really press and push for the mark of serving Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Okay, so now reading on, it said, the Lord hath wrought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning, such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned for their power. We still speak about these men. Esau, which he, like the scripture says, turning the things upside down, shall be esteemed as a potter's clay, because it's all being revealed, all the lies, because Esau turned everything down. He made himself to be us. In other words, our history, when you read about Adam, Noah, King David, I'm just going throughout, different ages of men, which people say stories, but it's true stories, real history. They're doing movies and stuff on it, but Esau just puts their self in a position. But now the Lord's bringing it out clearly that they ain't that's not the people. And then you got other icons, which a lot of you probably seen one icon of King David. It looked just like King Masha. Very, very similar. And I've seen that icon a while ago, and every time I seen it, I was like, wow, this looks just like King Masha. You see what I'm saying? And it's up, not that we go deep into, not, at the end of the day, whoever you are, just hope that you was on the men of the Lord that was doing the right thing. But just speaking about great men of the Lord, we got to remember and give reverence. And the thing is, because like Apostle Apostle, 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, he said, be ye followers of me. So that's how you know we're speaking about, such as King Mashad, Abba Bivens, and these men. They'll follow examples, man. All right? And their crown is waiting for them. Lord willing, okay? And then I heard something he said, which is true. You know, all the elect, the 144,000 could be on the big ship with Yahawashi. Then the elect could be on other, whatever. We gonna see. We gonna see how it's gonna be. You know, just do tell us that the dead in Yahawashi shall rise first. And they put their work in, man. And the scriptures tell you that they work to follow them. So you can't knock that, man. Just because we came in, you know, and there's things that we know in this time in the flesh that they didn't know, but guess what? They know it all now because they back with the Most High, you know? So there's no room for boasting, all that disrespectful shit that a lot of guys do, but it's all good. It says, such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned for their power, giving counsel by their understanding and declaring prophecies, man. That's why Jeremiah said, I'm going to get with these men. And it said what? They were declaring prophecies, man. One time, people, you know, and the same dude who taught a lot of us the truth, and that's why the Spirit, we always curse him out, because he went left. You know what I'm saying? Once you take your hand off the plow and everything, then not. And the scriptures take all whatever works that you it should not be made mention. So that's why we don't say and mention all these wicked things that are just wicked. But the guy said, he said, what is prophecy on? How does prophecy help you if somebody's in your face ready to do this, that, and the third? Prophecy in every way, man. All right, it's a prophecy, man. It said the great men were what? Declaring prophecy. Okay, so that's what we do. We declare prophecy. All right. It says, leaders of the people by their counsels and by their knowledge or learning meet for the people. Wise and eloquent are their instructions, and that's what we're learning from. All right. Scripture said the things written aforetime were written for our learning. So that's how we're able to learn through the Spirit of Yahawashi from the men. It's the righteous cycle. Just like you got these wicked niggas, they keep coming back and they lot. And the Lord, they're gonna come back and they lot, and they're gonna always in this time like they were back. All right, but the thing is as long as you get before Yahawashi, if Yahawashi is messing with you, then fuck everybody else, because this world is wicked, man. The Most High said the friendship of this world is enmity with them. All right, the Most High ain't fucking with these people of this world. So when you see other Israelite groups out there trying to have a worldly friendly doctrine, which I ain't get to see all of it, but you got the leader of Doc talking about Esau's gonna be serving and Esau's gonna believe in the Lord, and they're gonna be. That's bullshit, man. You understand? That's bullshit, man. And that's why the Spirit have us mark these men, because why? They basically they're teaching blasphemies and heresies, things that they shouldn't be teaching, man. You see, but they set up to do what they do too. You know, the Most High got them set up, man. But anyway, I mean, you know how it goes, man. Didn't even scratch the surface of some of the scriptures I wanted to hit, but you brothers put in a lot of scriptures and precepts, man. You know, and hey, it's the Spirit of Yahawashi. You know, I mean, I've been watching all these different videos. I've been putting up, other brothers been putting up, watching, listening to the videos from Abba Bivens, that old teaching. You know, it just pumped my spirit up to just make me think about a lot of these scriptures in the mind. You know, so we got to remember the great men of Yahawashi and His truth, man. And if the Spirit have me, you know, go more into this, Lord willing. If not, then we're going to something else, man. Hey, all praise God, Allah, Yahawashi. And I say Yahawashi, all you sincere, you know, that's watching these shows, man. Shalom.